We're going to look at a variety of defence topics um, today. Um, and let's start with this one here, where South has opened a heart, North bid two hearts, then it went three hearts, four hearts, and you're on lead. And that's the first poll of the afternoon. What do you think West should lead with this hand? Have a little think. Look at your hand, think about the bidding. And here comes the first poll. And the question is, what do you think West should lead on this hand? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And the most popular response is the two of clubs, followed by a heart, and one person led the ace of spades. So let's have a look at this hand. So one thing on this hand is the bidding shows that North-South only just have enough to bid for heart. There's no, they probably just have about 25 or 26 points between them because the way the bidding went, they didn't sort of jump to game or anything like that. So this bidding sequence tends to call for what I'm going to call a passive lead, one that is least likely to help declarer. So leading an ace or leading away from an ace could easily help declarer, and leading a low club, which was a popular choice, it could also very easily help declare if they've got the ace and queen in their hand. So the fact that their bidding was very sort of lackluster, and the fact that they're playing in a suit contract, all suggests that we should think about making passively one that doesn't help declarer, and that we try to stop declarer, by saving our high cards for their honours. In fact, I'll just click here on the GIB link, and it actually is telling me that I can defeat this contract, as it turns out, on anything except a spade lead. So if I lead a spade, declarer can make their contract. Anything else could lead to a defeat. But my choice here is to lead a trump. Also, you have three trump here, so it's very unlikely that leading a trump will hurt your side. If, for example, you'd had a singleton trump, then that could be damaging to your side if perhaps your partner had the queen. But here I'm going to lead a heart as my choice, and down comes dummy, and I can see that, yeah, North has definitely got a hand where they should accept a three heart invitation. They've got 9 points. So declarer wins that first trick with the queen, and then they draw another round of trump. Your partner discards, so they draw your last trump with the jack, and then they play a club over to declarer's queen. They're obviously trying a finesse there, and you win that first trick with the king of clubs. And again, you're on lead here, and you have to think about what to lead now at trick 5, and that's the subject of the second poll. You've just won the king of clubs. What do you think you should lead now? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And the most popular response is a club, followed by the ace of diamonds. And yes, I think both of those are reasonable choices. Again, if I click on the GIB button, it's telling me that if I lead a spade, again, declarer can make this, but the best lead, which defeats the contract by could defeat the contract by 2 tricks, is a club or the ace of diamonds. And probably a club lead won't hurt if you think about it. Someone's got the jack of clubs, and it depends really where the jack and the 9 of clubs are there. But there's one lead that I think really doesn't help declarer make any extra tricks, and that's the ace of diamonds. It's just going to take one of the honors from dummy, and you're not helping declarer by leading a suit that might help them. So yes, my vote goes for the ace of diamonds because I can see it's going to take the queen or king. And then again, I'm not going to help declarer by leading anything else. I'm just going to play another diamond and let them take the king of diamonds. Leave them to play the other suits. So let's suppose they do play a club. Your partner plays the 9, they play the ace, and they win that trick. And suppose they play a spade now, and now you've got the moment you should have been anticipating since the beginning of the hand, which is, what are you going to play? Well, you should not play the ace. Second hand should play low here. You can see that even though declarer is going to make a trick with the king, you're saving your ace to beat an honor with. So it's very important not to play your ace there. Declarer wins the king, plays a spade back, and then, of course, if they play the queen, we're going to beat that one with the ace. And we're on lead again. And we've got to decide what to lead back. And that's the third pole on this hand. What are we going to lead now at trick 10? A spade, a diamond, or the 10 of clubs, or the 3 of clubs? Let me launch that pole. The pole there. And let's look at your votes. And the most popular response was a spade, followed by diamond, and there's votes for clubs as well. So 4 possibilities. Well, again, this is not certain, what the best thing to lead is here. I'll click on the GIB button, and actually it's saying that the best lead here is either a spade or a club. The only lead I would stay away from here probably is a diamond, because there are no more diamonds in dummy. And if there are no more diamonds in declarer's hand, that will give declarer a chance to ruff in one hand while they discard from the other. So I think there's nothing obvious to lead here, but stay away from leading a diamond just because there's already a void in dummy. If you choose a spade, your partner has the jack and wins that trick, plays a club back and can win the jack of clubs. But after that, declarer gets in and has trumps left. But if you play very carefully there, and declarer doesn't actually find exactly the best line, you can hold declarer to 8 tricks going down 2. So, if you look at the opening lead here, leading a club could have helped declarer. It does help them make the ace and queen of clubs. So leading away from a king is risky there. And it turns out probably the best play here is to play passively on this hand, trying never to give away anything to declare that they're not entitled to. Do interrupt me if you have any questions on that. Let's have a look at this one, where South opens a spade, North bids 2 diamonds, and you overcall 2 hearts. However, South bids 3 spades, and it goes to 4 spades, and that ends the auction. And your partner here leads a heart. You expected a heart because you bid hearts. They lead the 6 of hearts, and down comes dummy, and you're going to obviously win this trick, although you could win this with the ace, king, or the jack, or the 10. Actually, technically speaking, the right card to play here is the bottom of any sequence, as high as necessary. And with the queen in dummy, the 10 would technically be the right card. So you win that first trick. You play the ace, and your partner plays the 9 as you beat that one, beat the queen in dummy. So you've won the first 2 tricks. And so the next question for you is, what do you think you should play at trick 3? Have a look at your hand, have a look at dummy. And the next poll is, which suit do you think he should play at trick 3? Okay, let's have a look at your results. And most popular response was clubs, followed by spades, with 2 votes for a heart and 1 vote for a diamond. So let's have a think about this. Well, this hand is a little bit different from the previous hand because I can see that very strong suit in dummy. And although I've got the king of diamonds, so declarer can't make all those diamonds, they'll be able to make all but one of them. In other words, they should be able to make 5 diamond tricks. That plus their long spade suit they presumably have in their hand, presumably means they can make a lot of tricks on this hand. We've made 2 tricks here, and I think we should seriously consider switching to a club as the only other suit where we're going to make any tricks. Your partner may have a high trump, in which case you're probably going to make it whether you lead that suit or not. But I think a club is what's called for here. I also don't like leading a heart here because of what I know about the heart distribution. If you were noticing, your partner led the 6 of hearts and then switched to the 9 of hearts and then played the 9 of hearts at trick 2. So that should tell me that they did not start with a doubleton. If they started with a doubleton, they would have led the 9 followed by the 6, but they played the 6 followed by the 9. So that probably means they started with 3 hearts. So if you do your arithmetic, that means that both north, as you can see, is out of hearts, and it means that south started with only 2 hearts. So it is a mistake to switch to carry on in hearts, because declarer will be able to ruff in one hand while they discard a loser from the other. And I think yes, once you see dummy, you've got to try to set up at least one club trick somehow, because you're only going to make the king of diamonds and anything you can make in clubs. So if I click here on the GIB button, it's actually telling me yes, the only suit that will defeat the contract is a club. Declarer can make it or make an over trick if I lead a diamond, which is of course a terrible lead. Anyway, so you lead a club, and normally at this point, if you don't have any honors, you would lead the middle card is normal, playing middle up down. So you lead the 4, declarer plays the ace, which is bad news, but your partner plays the 8, high to encourage. So that's good news. So let's suppose declarer now turns their attention to trumps, and they draw trumps, which fall in 2 rounds. Then they play a diamond, and they're going to try the diamond finesse here, but the queen loses to your king. And of course, based on your partner's signal early, you're going to happily switch back to a club, and you're going to make one more trick in clubs. After that, whatever happens, declarer is going to take the rest. They've got good trump and good diamonds. But played that way, you can hold declarer to 9 tricks. Let's just bring up the 4 hands. And you can see that really the only place you're ever going to make any tricks apart from after your first 2 hearts is in clubs. So it was very important for you to switch to a club after you cash the first 2 hearts. Also a bad mistake to play another heart, because declarer could have ruffed in one hand while they discard from the other. Here, they could perhaps ruff with a high spade and then discard a club, and then they won't lose any club tricks. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about any of those. Let's try this one. This is one where South has opened 2 spades. Your partner bid 3 hearts, and North bid 4 spades. Although you'd kind of quite like to support your partner, I don't think I'm going to come in at the 5 level. And your partner leads the the king of hearts, and down comes dummy. And you can see there's quite a nice dummy there for declarer. They've got a very good fit in spades in particular. And declarer calls for the 5 from dummy. And I've got the next poll for you, which is which heart are you going to play? The ace, nine, the eight, or the six? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And majority went for the ace, 38%, with the rest of you voting for something else, a six, eight, or the nine. And let's have a little think about this. Well, clearly your partner's got we know he's got a long heart suit there, and with that singleton in dummy, you're only ever going to make one heart trick. So you have the choice of there's no point really, saying you like hearts because you don't, because Declarer has got a void now in hearts in dummy, and it's important for you to play your ace here, because the only other place you're going to make any tricks, unless your partner happens to have a trump trick, very unlikely, is in clubs. And it's much better if you win this trick so that you can switch to a club suit, so that you're leading into dummy's weakness. So yes, I agree with those of you who said a heart. It's actually, if I click here on the GIB button, it's saying that's the only play that will defeat the contract. If you play any other heart, Declarer can make an over trick. So yes, you should play that. And of course, you're going to lead now the queen of clubs, leading into dummy's weakness. And we hope we have some kind of layout like this, where Declarer's got the king and it's trapped if you lead the queen. If Declarer, by the way, had the ace here, then you're probably not going to make any club tricks anyway, because Declarer will just win the ace, draw trumps, and cash those lovely diamonds they've got in dummy, and they'd probably be able to discard all their clubs quite possibly. So this is a time for an active defense. Once you see that strong diamond suit in dummy, you've got to switch to the top of the sequence here. And now, if that wins a trick, of course, you'll carry on. And whenever the king is played, your partner wins, and you're able actually to take 4 tricks. After that, Declarer wins that, draws the remaining trump, and as you can see, he's just got good diamonds left at that point. So if you hadn't found that defense, it's worth thinking about the situation. Declarer's got 6 spades and 5 diamonds, so they're going to make at least 11 tricks unless you overtake and switch to a club. So do look out for that kind of situation of a weak suit in dummy.
Tony,
Hello.
surely if the king won, West won with a king, they could chase the clubs by the same argument.
Do you think that's right?
Well, I can't see why they couldn't.
No, they couldn't. No. Which club they'd have the only thing they can do is cash the ace, and then that just sets
No,
up.
if they played a low club.
Oh, then Declarer wins with the king.
Or a 10 to beat dummy.
Yeah.
Then
Declarer wins with the king. Yeah.
Then Declarer would win the king, but
Yeah.
then the ace and the jack are still good.
Well, they are, except you'll never get to cash them, because Declarer will draw trumps, and then he'll play 5 rounds of diamonds, and that gives him 3 discards.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So he'll discard his clubs there. Yeah. So it's because of that long suit in dummy that you switch to a very active defense of trying to grab any tricks. And it unlike the very first hand that we looked at, which called for a more passive defense, where you don't want to give away anything by leading away from your honors. Finally, let's have a look at this one. This was a hand that was actually played online, and all the declarers managed to make at least 9 tricks playing in 3 no trump. South opens 1 no trump, North bids 3 no trump, and although you'd have liked to have mentioned your heart suit, you don't really get a chance, and that ends the auction. And your partner leads the queen of spades. And you need to have a little think about what that shows. I think it's a pretty good lead because they've got a sequence headed by the queen, Queen Jack 10 or Queen Jack 9 or something similar. And you've got the king. So let's suppose Declarer plays low from dummy, and you decide to signal encouragement with the 7. So your partner now carries on with a low spade, playing the ace, and this time you have to give a little thought to what to play here. You might automatically play low, but if you do play low, then there's a danger of a spade suit becoming blocked. In fact, if I click on the GIB button, it's telling me that to defeat this contract, I must throw my king. That is to say, I'm hoping to get in later on and be able to lead a spade back to my partner. So you've got to find, first of all, the very good defense of throwing off your king. But now Declarer switches to clubs, and they start by cashing the ace of clubs. And in fact, they're going to now cash 3 more rounds of clubs. They're going to play 4 rounds of clubs altogether. So you're going to have to find 3 discards. And rather than agonize about what you're going to discard all the time, now is a good time to think about what 3 discards he should make as Declarer runs the rest of the clubs. So have a little think about that. And here comes the last poll of the afternoon. And the question is, what 3 discards do you think he should make when Declarer runs 3 more rounds of clubs? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And the most popular response was 3 hearts, with responses for the others. Not many people discarded a spade, I'm pleased to say. Most of you discarded a combination of diamonds or hearts. So let's switch back to the hand and see what we think about it. Well, I think you should keep your spade because your partner's got a sequence over there, and if you do gain the lead, perhaps with a heart, you want to switch to a spade so that your partner can take their spade tricks. So I'm going to keep my 3 of spades, and the choice is between discarding hearts or discarding diamonds. And what you should be thinking about here is that you have 4 diamonds and there are 4 diamonds in dummy. So you should probably hang on to your 4 diamonds and discard 3 hearts. Now, you may think that's hard to discard because you've got a nice heart suit there. But the fact that you have a nice heart suit means that Declarer doesn't have a good heart suit. Declarers, the only honor they could have is the jack in their hand. And if they've just got the jack and the king, they're probably not going to go after this suit. But they may well want to make 4 tricks in diamonds, and you should therefore hang on to your 4 diamonds. Keep length with dummy. So when they play a club, I'm going to discard my hearts and keep diamonds and keep a spade. So I'm going to discard a heart, discard another heart, and on the next club, I'll discard yet another heart. Now Declarer turns their attention to diamonds. They play the king, the queen, and they play the 2, and they get they were hoping that they would fall, but they don't. So your diamond at the end is good. I'll just bring up the 4 hands at this point, and you can see that Declarer's just won the ace of diamonds, and if he may well decide to play a diamond here because there's only 1 diamond to lose here. And he's hoping now that you, having gained the lead, might lead a heart. But if you've kept the right cards, you can cash the ace of hearts and then switch to a spade and allow your partner to take the last 2 tricks to defeat the contract. So if we have a look at the hand from Declarer's point of view, we can see Declarer's got 1 spade, 3 top tricks in diamonds and 4 top tricks in clubs. So they were hoping when they played the diamonds that the diamonds divided evenly, 3-3, in which case they make a 4th diamond, or they can make a 4th diamond if you, as East, discard from a 4-card suit. So anytime you have a 4-card suit and you can see a 4-card suit in dummy, or if declarer has bid a suit and hasn't been discarding that, you should seriously try to keep dummy covered as long as at least one of your cards is higher than the lowest card in dummy, which is the case here with your jack. So yes, you can defeat this contract, but it's up to you to keep the right cards when declarer runs the clubs. Any questions on any of that? That's the end of the talk today. I hope you found that interesting. And we've got the game starting at 2 o'clock in